that'll be A.
And that's his. Is that going to be long enough for you, Daryl? You want to switch sides? Let's switch sides. I'll go on the left.
Sure?
Yep. Here. Better?
Doesn't matter me.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Check, 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 check.
Got it? Yes.
One, good?
Good for you?
Check, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Check,
You mind
check.
turning it down a little bit in our headset?
Check,
All right.
check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
I think good?
All good.
Awesome, thank you.
I'm going to run downstairs. I'm going to head over to the corner and see if I can find Jared. And I'm going to touch base with him real quick. Up the top? Yeah. All right, okay. His board is always live, so okay.
Check, check. Okay, so you're always live. So we'll just mute you until we're ready to go.
Okay.
From the brand new TechCU Arena in San Jose, it's game one of the 2022 Rookie Faceoff as the LA Kings begin the weekend against the prospects from the Colorado Avalanche. Hi everyone, with former Kings winger Daryl Evans, I'm Josh Schaefer. There's an old debate as to what officially starts the brand new hockey season. Is it the draft? Is it development camp? Is it the preseason? But Daryl, today, for the first time, we get live hockey games, and it's something to be excited about.
It really is, and you can't really pinpoint one thing. It's probably a different time for everybody when that season officially gets kicked off. But I think now with these rookie tournaments, the way that they're having at the beginning of the seasons, it's a great way to get involved. You see so many people coming to watch these games. This is a brand new arena here up in San Jose, and there's a lot of excited people. And I think the people calling the games like ourselves, Josh, we're just as excited as the people that are in the building.
Well, the Kings have a bunch of prospects that are here. They're going to be rotating throughout the weekend, so there are some in the lineup, there are some out of the lineup, and we'll talk about those after the anthem. Just moments from puck drop here in San Jose. The Kings rookies against the rookies from the Colorado Avalanche, the defending Stanley Cup champions in the NHL here in San Jose. Daryl, we mentioned some of the top prospects. There are some out of the lineup today for the Kings, but there's still some top names in.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it. We're going to be starting the game at center is going to be Quinton Byfield, the number 2 pick for the Kings a couple of years ago in the draft. And, looking for him to take that next step. You look at Byfield's game, he's got a lot of skill, a lot of size, and he should be able to show a little bit more of that maturity kind of evolved now from what he learned last year playing in the NHL, having gone through the tournament at the beginning of the season last year. So excited to see him out there. And then also you got Brant Clark, another first-round pick for the Kings, number 8 overall in his draft, and he'll be on the ice playing on defense. So those 2 young guys are going to start on the ice here to drop the puck here to open the tournament up.
Kings donning the road whites, moving from right to left. The Avalanche in the home maroons and blues from left to right. In the opening faceoff, the game's underway as the puck deflects and rolls on net to be covered by the Kings goaltender today, Jacob Ingham. He dons number 35. Last year spent most of the season playing in the ECHL with the Greenville Swamp Rabbits, the new ECHL affiliate of the Kings in Ontario Reign. He was 9-5-1 there and 2-2-1 in a brief stint in the AHL. The Kings are off to a great start. Kings dump the puck down into the offensive zone, and then from behind the net, it's picked up by Wyatt Ahmet for Colorado, angled toward the blue line, but the Kings will hold it in, and Atu Yamson chases it down. Yamson, the lefty forward, holds it beneath the circles, then pressed into the glass along the hash marks. Dug out by Byfield, at least for a moment, but then into the skates of the 2 players along the boards. Byfield still trying to find it, and then worked out by Colorado, centered, and the Avs look up ice. Flipped over the blue line, but collected by Brant Clark, the 8th overall pick from last year. He shoots it in and goes off for a change. Justus Annunen occupies the net off to our left, where Ahmet peeks around the cage and steps out. Annunen, 24-13-6 in the AHL for the Colorado Eagles last year, a season that ended in the Pacific Division semifinals, or Pacific Division finals, rather. Now, Samuel Hellenius, the big forward, chips it into the Colorado zone, chased down by the Avs with Boutin, and then in the left corner, it's dug out by Hellenius. Puck rolls through the trapezoid, and Bukaj comes in and stick handles his way through traffic in front of the Colorado bench where he's upended by Hellenius, and now the Kings in their own end.
Good job there by Hellenius coming back through the neutral zone tracking, preventing the Avalanche from being able to get the puck into the King zone.
Andre Lee cut between the circles but had it hacked off his stick, and now Colorado picks it up with Terran Pfizer. Into the neutral zone, poked away by Landon Kozior. Camp invite and a rookie face-off invite to the Kings for the second straight year, and now the Kings try to break out of their own end. Tried to center it over their own blue line, but it's knocked down and intercepted by Colorado. And Ben Tardif sends it up the right side for McClellan. McClellan in front, a shot, saved by the goaltender Ingham on the in-deep chance from McLennan. And a whistle with 18:02 to play in the first period.
As McLennan was breaking in there, good job there by Angus Booth on defense. Booth putting pressure on from the backside. That was a little bit of a cue for the goaltender Ingham to be able to come out and challenge, knowing that he wasn't going to be able to move laterally, at least freely, not being able to pull the puck around the top of the crease and around his leg.
Angus Booth, Kings pick from this most recent draft, had it for a moment, now chases it down in the right corner. Run into there by Ben Tardif, and then Booth knocks Tardif down to the ice as the Kings will pick it up in their own end. Up the left side, Francesco Pinelli over the red line and hands it off for Rosmi. He dumps it down in deep for Pinelli, who had it worked away from him and then picked up by Colorado. Behind the net, in comes Brett Kemp to try to knock the puck free, and Colorado takes it away up the far side. Toward the blue line, flipped up in the air, gloved down by Kim Nosiainen at the Kings blue line. There's two. We'll try to keep it at 2. Kings back over the red line, chipped ahead for Rosmi, but it rolled away from him, and now Schmidt angles it back to the blue line, and now up the right wing side, Nagy shoots, and off the glass wide, just trying to get it in deep, and then it's cut off by Steffen in the left corner for the Kings. Worked out up the far side, might have deflected off a Colorado stick, and it did, so no icing here. Annunen comes out to play it, nearly turns it over. And now in the neutral zone, Nosiainen comes together with Nagy and slaps it away from the Colorado forward. Back to get it now, Wyatt Ahmet for Colorado. Gets run into there by Riley Fiddler-Schultz. And the Kings kept it in for a moment, but now the Avs out from their own end. Over the red line and then the Kings line. Tried to flip it to the left side, but Steffen knocked it away and picked it off for LA. And now with 16:40 to play in the first period, the Kings look up ice again. Lajoie for Quinton Byfield, the second overall pick a couple of years ago. Chases it down but had it rolled off his stick and now fights to get it back. Yamson tries to shuffle it along for Byfield, who's pressed into the left wing corner boards. Byfield tried to dig it away, but then it's picked off by Colorado again with Boutin. He's got Yamson draped all over him, and he'll backhand it back to the near side for Orzek. Orzek cuts to the middle, nearly lost his balance, and now sends it over the red line. Olausson tried to chip it into the LA zone, but it deflected out of play with 16:09 remaining in the first period.
Good play there by the Avalanche in their own zone. Boutin picking up the puck, and instead of trying to bring it up to strong side where the Kings had numbers, he reverses it back, and what he does is he spreads the Kings forwards out on the forecheck, allowing the Avalanche to get the puck out across their blue line to be able to relieve the pressure, forcing the Kings forwards to have to come back and regroup.
Center ice face-off here for Hellenius, and can't win the draw against Ben Myers, the University of Minnesota product, who ended the year with a couple of NHL games for the Avalanche. Orzek over his own blue line right wing side. He shoots it down around the boards. Ingham tried to slow it down, but it rolls all the way to the left corner for Oscar Olausson, former first-round pick of the Avs. And now Myers has it knifed off his stick by Lee. Hellenius tried to angle it out, but off a deflection, Lee flicks it to the near side for Taylor Ward. Backpedals his way in, holds up above the circle. Ward looks to center, skates toward the middle, sends it right circle, a wrist shot, saved by the goaltender Annunen, no rebound with 15:34 to play in the first.
Well, nice play there by Ward. He picked up the puck, and Kosier, the defenseman, he ends up getting the shot on goal. He becomes the late guy in the attack, but because of the patience by Ward, with Andre Lee driving towards the net, that backed the defense off. That opened up the seam coming down that right side. Pretty good shooting lane, but the goaltender, Antonin, was able to get right out there, square up, and make the shot, save easily.
The Pinelli line comes out. He wins the draw. Wrist shot, dribbled on net, saved by Annunen, and then quickly pounced on the rebound with 15:30 to play.
Shot there by Rosmi as he's coming in on his off wing. A left-handed shot playing the right side. So he's got the puck right in the middle of the ice. Gets a pretty decent shot away. It was partially blocked, but he forces another offensive zone faceoff.
Taken away by Sampo Ranta, and Ranta leaves it for Schmidt behind the net. Now Colorado chipping it above the circles, and Bukaj flips it far side as Schmidt starts up ice. Sends it toward the Kings zone. Knocked away by Kozior, picked off by Colorado, and Kozior turns, shuffles it ahead. Now high slot above the circle, a shot. Glove saved by Ingham. Didn't look like there was a lot coming in on the shot, and with nobody really in the shooting lane, not too much trouble for Jacob Ingham, who makes the glove save.
Yeah, the play there by Kozior, maybe a little bit nonchalant as he threw the puck blindly back up the middle of the ice, and then Schmidt picked up the puck, a little bit of traffic towards the front of the net, but Ingham was able to track it, reaches out with his left hand, hangs on, face-off deep in the King zone to his right.
There are a handful of returners from last year's 2021 Rookie Faceoff in Arizona for the Kings, and those returners, especially those on the ice today, the Byfields, the Maddens, those players opened the Rookie Faceoff last year against these same Colorado Avalanche rookies with a 4-0 shutout victory, backstopped by Matt Villalta, who made the trip but isn't going to be participating into any games this weekend. Left side circle shot, blocked, and then the rebound is flicked wide by Colorado. Nosiainen bodied a man up, and then Ollery couldn't hang on, and Tardif takes over for Colorado. He just shuffles it over the blue line, and then bodies come together in the neutral zone. Fiddler Schultz will backhand it deep, and the Kings will get 5 new skaters on the ice. Stretch pass into the neutral zone for Tardif. Lost it to Byfield. Left circle, Byfield takes it in front. Tried to pull it back to the backhand and had it knocked off his stick. Kings hold it in. Lajoie, left side, shoots. Tipped in front. Save, and the rebound lying between the circles. And then Lajoie has it above the near circle. Shoots. Tipped in front off of Jomsson, but kept out by Annunen. And now Colorado will try to slow things down a little bit after the Kings get their first couple offensive chances of the game here with 13:55 to play in the opening period.
Yeah, by far the best offensive shift there by the Kings, and it starts with Quinton Byfield. He forces a turnover in the offensive zone, takes the puck towards the net. He attacked the goaltender Antonin and tried to pull it around him on the backhand, a little bit of a poke check, but the Kings didn't give up on it. They continued to take the puck right back at the net. Shot from up high, redirected. We saw a couple of tips around that net, so good pressure there by the Kings. Their best shift so far of the afternoon.
Hellenius comes out for the draw, fresh off the World Junior Championships a couple of weeks ago. He's flanked by Taylor Ward and Andre Lee, and the puck deflects at the top of the circle. It's picked off by Colorado with Cole Nagy. Plays it ahead for Klassen, who has it knifed off his stick, and the Kings will backhand it to the far side of the ice. Hellenius tried to shoot it in, took a deflection, and Annunen plays it aside for Orzek, who took a check, played it back to the near wall. Shipped over the blue line with Myers, tries to hand it off there, and then a Colorado player went down, turned over, and Ward chases it down, but then boxed out there by Boutin. He's able to keep Ward away from the puck, and then turned over again in the neutral zone. Andre Lee up the left side, tried to dance past Boutin, but had it knocked away, and now Ward, who couldn't find the puck, trying to get off the ice after a long shift, and Colorado enters the zone, laid off to the far circle, intercepted by the Kings, and a bouncing puck took a few deflections until Kemp can play it back behind the net for Angus Booth. Gets a little bit of help from Kozior, but it's picked up by Ben Myers. Angles it back behind the net, out of the reach of Jean-Luc Foudy, who played all of last season in the AHL with the Colorado Eagles, and now up top for Myers, shoots it wide, looking to just get it deep or find somebody in front. Lee banks it off the glass and out of the zone, and that will allow the Kings to change. It does not go far enough for icing, and Kemp applies a little bit of pressure on the far side of the ice.
Yeah, good job there by Lee, getting deep back into his own zone, the right angle, being able to put that puck high off the glass to relieve the pressure, allowing his teammates to change.
Right wing side, Diot, the defenseman, played it in. Bukaj tried to get it deep, but was picked off by Pinelli, and then Pinelli turned it over. Bukaj's shot is blocked wide, and Bukaj will send it behind the net. Taken away from Ranta, poked away from Kemp, and the Avs will hold it in. Rolling puck right corner. Ranta bodied into the boards by Kim Nosiainen. Nice play there by the young defenseman Nosiainen, who ended last season in the AHL with Ontario. High slot, Ranta sends it left circle. Sliding save by Ingham, and the rebound bounced right back to Taryn Pfizer, and now a long shot kicked out by Ingham. Kings will take over, looking to slow it down and then hiking the puck up in the air. Bouncing puck over the blue line. Rosmi chases it down, gets pinched between two defenders, flicks it on net, and it's sticked away by Annunen. Great effort there by Bennett Rosmi. Kings will hold it in. Lajoie had his stick lifted and couldn't keep it inside the blue line. Ollery across for Grons, who chips it in. Bouncing puck, and it bounced off of Annunen, who covers with 11:24 to play in the first.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a nasty bounce right there, but the goaltender Annunen was in a good position, had his chest back, shoulders up high, making sure that puck didn't bounce past him. So face-off will be deep in the avalanche zone to his left. This is an area where young players like Hellenius, you look at the other guys that are going to be up the middle of the ice, Pinelli for the Kings. This is an area that you can really help your cause in trying to earn a spot, is to become proficient in the face-off circle.
Stefan had it right corner. The Kings take it away, and now a shot blockered away by Annunen. That came in from Eric Alari. And then down behind the net, Orzek has it knocked away from him by Fiddler Schultz. In front, Fiddler Schultz shoots wide right. Held in by Gron's right point, along the blue line for Lajoie. Left point hands it off to the hash marks. Fiddler Schultz sends it down in deep looking for Allery. And then right corner, shuffled back up toward the blue line where Grons holds it in for a moment, and then he gets knocked over. Colorado with it right corner now with Boutin. Now back and forth with Orzek. They try to get it out of their own zone. Tipped in, no icing here called against the Avs. Helge Grons chases it down and leaves it for Marc Lajoie. Allery hands it for Byfield. He speeds up the ice, fresh off the bench. Gets taken out of the play, but only runs a man over. Held in, left corner. Tyler Madden spins away from a check and then angles it back into the corner for Quinton Byfield. The big forward Byfield turns and slings it behind the net where it's cut off by Atu Jomsson. Jomsson takes a check, flicks it away for Madden. He peeks around the near side, tried to center for Byfield, got blocked up in the air. Byfield couldn't corral it with Ben Myers, and now up the right side, Klassen enters the zone for Colorado. Rink-wide pass and a great stick to break up the pass and tip it out of the play by Landon Kozior.
Another good shift by the Byfield line playing in the offensive zone. You can just see the poise with Byfield hanging onto the puck. A little bit of communication watching those guys on the ice yesterday in practice before they flew here to San Jose. A little chemistry being built right there, reversing the puck, getting it back. But the key thing is keeping it deep in the offensive zone. Don't turn it over to give out unnumbered attacks.
Schmidt's shot blocked, dribbles over the blue line, and Colorado couldn't hold it in. Kings are now up to 8 shots compared to the Avalanche 4. Ingham, the netminder. Colorado player went down and now through the neutral zone. Taylor Ward cuts to the right side, tries to dance around Wyatt Ahmet. Pressed into the boards in Ward. Tried to shuffle it in deep, but it's taken over by Colorado. They can't get it deep and lose possession in the neutral zone. Clark, nice play to try to find Ward, but he's boxed out by Ahmet, who banks it off the glass and back into the neutral zone. Now flicked right side. Foodie over the Kings line, cuts toward the middle, leaves it right side. Back to the point. Slung along left side now for Orzek. Drops it back toward the circle, sticked away by Hellenius. No clear possession yet as the Kings whack away at it, and then it's picked up by Ward. Behind the net with 9:10 to play here in the first period. Snosiainen will slow things down, allow the Kings to get a few new skaters on the ice.
Good play there by Foodie, trying to stretch out the Kings defense in their zone, get one of his teammates open, but the Kings held their position defensively and took away the lanes.
Clark in front, tip, they score! Francesco Pinelli on the centering feed from Brant Clark. And with 8:55 to play in the first period, it's 1-0 LA.
Real solid play there by Clark, taking that puck down the right side. And as he drifts to his right, taking the puck a little bit wider, that allows Pinelli just a little bit more time to get in behind the defense. And Pinelli got tugged at just a little bit and was still able to get his stick down on the ice. That puck ends up hitting his blade right there at the top of the blue paint, finds the back of the net. Kings strike first. They lead it 1-0 on the goal by Pinelli.
Oh, Frankie Pinelli, a terrific young hockey player, second rounder from 2021. And this past year in the OHL playing with Kitchener, 22 goals and 38 assists in another really good season. He'll be going back to the OHL this upcoming season.
Yeah, he's good. You know, you look for a young guy like that. You take a look at the growth from Pinelli from last year to this season. First of all, a little bit more mature looking. He's got a little bit more meat on the bones. He looks a lot stronger. And here in a game like this, again, playing against some guys that may be a little on the younger side, the experience is showing a little bit more confidence out there, and that was just a great play on that goal.
These games are going to work a little bit different than your typical hockey game. We've been told this year that there'll just be one media stoppage in the middle of the period. I'm not sure if that's what they're going to count that for. There was no scrape of the ice, but that's what we're expecting. So typically you have those 2 stoppages during the period. This weekend there's only going to be 1. Colorado back in their own end. Kings with a 1-0 lead with 8:30 to play here in the first period. as the Avs come up the ice with Ranta. His shot off of Granz's skate and then picked up by Colorado and cycled back into the corner for Ranta. All the way up to the far side now. Pfizer slings it back, left point, teed up shot. Wide left, bounced off the back of the cage off the end boards, and now the puck stuck in the right corner on the near side. Held in by Schmidt, he shoots, it's sticked away by the goaltender Ingham, and now Ranta through the trapezoid, rolling puck above the right circle, hands off, Bukaj right side, shoots, saved by Ingham, loose puck, and Ingham gets a whistle with 8:05 to go. And that's where the stoppage will come, and they will scrape the ice. The Kings' goal here in the first period from Frankie Pinelli, the assist to Brant Clark and Kim Nosiainen to give the Kings a 1-0 lead. We'll stay with you here on the media stoppages and the ice scrapes here this weekend at the Rookie Faceoff. But Daryl, you know, yesterday at morning skate before the flight up here was the first time, and really the only time so far, that these Kings rookies and the camp invites have skated together as a group. And now, you know, you're halfway through one period of an actual game. What are some of your impressions so far?
I think it just goes to show you how well prepared these kids are, and that's not only for the Kings players, but for the Avalanche players as well. The way that they work, the systems that the coaches put in place all across the NHL, the American Hockey League, junior teams, college teams, there's a lot of similarities. It's just a few little tweaks here and there. So when you do come to a tournament like this, and all of a sudden, like you say, the guys have only been on the ice really for one practice as a group, you can start to see that chemistry just because everybody has an idea. Everybody plays the game the right way now. You have to know what to do when you don't have the puck. You've got to know where the puck is going to be going, you know, in all three zones. And I think that's very evident here. You know, a lot of times in the early parts of training camp, you think things are looking sloppy. But I think because of the structure that these kids play with, regardless of what league they're at or what level they're at, they're prepared when these camps start.
This is the first time I think Kings fans have seen Brant Clark in a game situation, unless you're paying a lot of attention to the streaming platforms up in the Ontario Hockey League. But this is the first time we've really seen him. He was supposed to come last year, had an injury and couldn't play, and he's got an assist on the opening goal. Face-off won by Colorado, and a quick shot off the draw was blocked. Left side, long shot, save Ingham. The rebound rolls right back in front of him, and he covers with 7:57 to play.
Yeah,
what have been your impressions of Brant Clark?
Well, he's a good skater. There's no doubt about it. He's got his head on a swivel out there. We're just watching him, you know, in preparing, getting himself ready for camp. You can tell the instincts that he has. He's got a gift. He sees the game a lot differently than a lot of other players. He's going to have to, you know, grow into becoming a professional hockey player. He's going to get a little bit stronger over time and understand that the pace of the game, the way it's going to have to be played, whether it's in the NHL or the American Hockey League, he's going to have to step it up a notch. But those are the things that just come naturally as they evolve. He's got all the skills in his tool, in his package there that you want to see in a young player.
Long shot from Tardif got deflected toward the net, but over the cage, and now Kozior picks it up for the Kings. Kozior tried to backhand it out of the zone, but it's knocked down and held in by Zach Sakos right corner. And a shuffle ahead. McLennan kept it in, and now Tardif right side. Tardif skates toward the middle, and then around the left circle. Tardif still with it. Long shift for him. Wraparound chance rolled through the blue paint and wide. Left side. The Avs hold it in behind the net. Back to the far side. Wrist shot, fanned on, and then picked up by the Kings with Stefan. 7 minutes to play first period. 1-0 Kings on the goal from Frankie Pinelli, assisted by Brant Clark and Kim Nosiainen at 11:05 of the opening period. Byfield shrugs off Tardif, steps away from one man and hands it off left side for Jomsson. Back up top, and Nosiainen's shot was partially blocked and dribbled on goal. Scooped up by Annunen with 6:43 to play in the first.
And that shot, as that puck was dropped back, a good play there by Byfield, who was involved in the early parts of that rush. He drove right to the net. He was boxed out eventually by Boutin, the defenseman, and then the puck was partially blocked and dribbled its way through. But if there's any type of rebound, good thing and a good thought for him. Get to the net. That's where you want to see the puck go. That's where you're going to pick up a lot of those garbage goals.
Big Quentin Byfield steps in for the draw. The puck dribbled through the circle, but then taken by Colorado with Wyatt Ahmet. Minnesota State product has it knifed away by Quentin Byfield. And now Clark over the logo at center. Dribbled away from Madden, and now up the left side. Klassen steps past Clark. Klassen to the circle, shoots. Saved by Ingham with the right pad. And behind the net, the Kings will take it away again, and Kim Nosiainen up the near wall. Jomsson in front of him, and Jomsson flicks it down and deep away from Annunen. Madden chases it down, comes together with Orzek and bodies him up in the right corner. Byfield back to the blue line. Clark waits, skates center point, trying to look back to the right side, has it poked away from him, but gets in front of Wright. And Wright pokes it toward the middle. Nagy enters the zone, left wing circle, skating around the net now, and back to the near side. Between the circles now, drop back toward the blue line now. Shuffled left side for Jean-Luc Foudy, fresh off the bench. The forward joins the attack late, now toward the left circle, waiting with it there. And now skating down in deep Myers. Centering feed, fanned on, and then it deflects out, and Byfield chips it into the neutral zone. This will go for icing with 5:31 remaining.
Yeah, Orzek, the defenseman, tried to come in from his position back in the right point. He got right outside the blue paint there. Just as he was going to pull the trigger on that shot, you see Janssen, he got his stick maybe in there, maybe tangled up his hands a little bit, and the puck jumps up over the stick, taking away the grade A scoring chance.
Tired skaters remain on the ice for the Kings. Byfield, Madden, and Atu Jampson. Byfield will step up for the faceoff against Ben Myers. 41 points in a full NCAA season last year for Minnesota. Wins the faceoff and left side. Long shot, rising shot, blockered away by the goaltender Annunen and out. That will allow the Kings to change, but the faceoff stays in the Kings zone with 5:25 remaining.
Yeah, up high there, Boutin, when he got that puck, he drifted to the left a little bit. By drifting to the left, that opened up the shooting lane. He was able to get the puck past the oncoming forward who was trying to get into that area to block that shot. And a wise play there by Ingham, the goaltender. Instead of trying to handle it, he punches it up over the boards to get the faceoff.
Now the faceoff win for the Avs. Long shot, tipped in front, and they score. With 5:19 to play, another offensive zone faceoff for Colorado leads to a goal. And it's Oscar Olausson who had the final touch to it for the Avs. We're tied at 1 with 5:19 to play in the first.
And a goal by Olausson there. He ends up being a high tip, but it all starts by winning the faceoff. They get it back to the point. They spread the Kings out defensively. The shot from up high. Olausson is out beyond the hash mark where he gets a piece of that puck and puts it past Ingham. So we're tied on a deflection goal by the Avalanche. Olausson 1-1 here with 5:15 left in the first.
Let's see how the Kings respond here. They were out shooting the Avs 8-4 at one point. Now just 10-10. Ranta left side. Circles back toward the blue line. Fakes a shot. Will cut back above the left circle. He shoots off the post and it goes in off the goaltender. Sampo Ranta had the puck on his stick the whole time. Faked a couple of shots. And after some nice quick stick handling, Ranta flicks one off the left post and then into the back of the net to give the Avs a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, shifts after goals are scored, whether you score the goal or you've been scored upon, are so important. Ranta had the puck up high. No pressure. The Kings were holding their position defensively. He drifted towards his left, and then a little bit of a screen in front. He puts it off the inside of the pipe there to give the Avs their first lead.
He had so much on the wrist shot as it's turned over, and now Nagy steps in, but he's offside, and don't think, or rather not Nagy, but Taron Fizer. Don't think Fizer or Kozior heard the whistle from the linesman, and play went on for a couple more seconds. But Ranta shot that puck so quickly on the wrist shot that it went off the left post, and there was nothing for Ingham to do, and it just quickly deflected off the Kings goaltender and into the net. So it's 2-1 Colorado. They score on their 10th and 11th shots of the game. The first goal, Oscar Olausson from Olivier Boutin and Nolan Orzek at 14:41 to tie the game. The second goal, Sampo Ranta, just seconds later. It's 2-1 Avalanche. Stretch pass, it deflects off the boards, all the way behind the net, no icing. Booth couldn't get there in time. Kozior to the near wall, just to shuffle it ahead and back into the neutral zone. Collected by Braden Schmidt. The Kings will take over. A wide pass to the far side. Brett Kemp speeds ahead and shoots it around the boards. Annunen slows it down in the trapezoid behind his own cage. Clears it up to the far side. Schmidt again between the circles in his own end. Cuts away from Rosmi and turned over in the neutral zone. Picked up by Kemp. Takes a hard shoulder check into the boards right side. And now Tardif picks it up. Backhanded in front. It slowed down and rolls on net. Covered by Ingham with 3:55 remaining.
I think you go back to the first 3 shifts of the game. The Avalanche now with a lot of shots on goal, but I think now players are starting to settle in. They've been hit, given a hit out there. They're starting to get into a little bit of a flow in the game. The Avalanche a little bit more of a shot mentality. Kings started out shooting the Avalanche early 8-4, and since then, now the Avalanche out shooting the Kings 8-2 in that last stretch, and Krug grabbed himself a couple of goals and grabbed them late.
Here's another offensive zone faceoff by the Avalanche. Down and deep, Zaravalov knocked down there by Allery, kept in by Colorado at the left point. Bouncing puck all the way back into the right corner now for Zaravalov. Run into there by Allery. A camp invite, face-off invite Allery. A lot of reports say that Allery does a lot of good things away from the puck. Right there, took Zaravalov out of the play, and now Colorado back in up the left side with Cole Nagy. Hands it off and then right into the right corner. Back up top for Orzek. Slings it along the blue line left side. At the left point, back to the right side. Orzek cuts to the middle and then held in. Right point shot tipped on goal. Save with the pad by Jacob Ingham. And now the puck in the right corner with 3 minutes to play in the first period. Check thrown on right in the corner. And then picked up by Steffen. Fiddler Schultz had it for a moment. He'll leave it back. And the Kings will try to change. Brandt Clark back and forth with Nosiainen. Clark speeds ahead, leaves it for Byfield left side. Clark chases it down. And Byfield comes in to help out. Picked off by Colorado for a moment. And Byfield still going after it. But it's picked up by the Avs. They skate left to right over their own blue line now. Mark Lajoie in the neutral zone. Sends it back into the Colorado zone. Stretch pass into the neutral zone for Foudy. And a rogue pass will go all the way for icing with 2:28 remaining in the first period.
Well, they had the right idea of the Avalanche there in the transition to try to get the puck right back up the ice as quickly as they possibly could. Unfortunately, their pass doesn't connect, so the faceoff comes back the other way. And that's where the Kings, they've got to make sure when you're taking the puck, you've got to get it in deep. Turnovers like that can lead to outnumbered attacks going back the other way.
Byfield wins an offensive zone faceoff, and now Madden. So it skates right circle, his shot, deflected wide, and now Foudy right wing wall. Stretch pass intercepted there by Madden. Here come the Kings right back in. Madden right circle, Byfield, stick handles his way through, and it just rolled off his stick behind the cage. Boutin behind the net now for the Kings with Yamson. Byfield picks it up right corner, steps away from Ben Myers, and now Yamson in the trapezoid. The lefty forward angles away from Boutin, and left side Byfield. Flicks it back for Yamson, tried to send it back up top, took a deflection, and the Kings hold it in, but just for a moment. Under 2 minutes to play in the period. Lajoie bodies up Foudy. Got his stick tied up there too. And now Helge Grans, the big Swedish defenseman. Grans for Hellenius. And then sent into the Colorado zone, no icing. Diot behind the net for Colorado with 90 seconds to play in the opening period. Kings open the scoring. Francesco Pinelli from Brandt Clark and Kim Nosiainen at 11:05. And then rapid-fire goals for the Avs. 2 goals in just 23 seconds. Olausen from Boutin and Orzek, and then Sampo Ranta unassisted. Back the other way, it's deflected up in the air and over the Kings bench. About 8 or 9 rows into the seats here at the brand new Tech CU Arena, the new home of the San Jose Barracuda. And this is the first game ever played in this building. There's a trivia question for you for AHL fans. What was the first game ever played at the new home of the Barracuda? Rookie Faceoff, LA Kings, Colorado Avalanche. Neutralized faceoff. Kings will take away with 1 minute remaining here in the first period. They trail 2-1. Lifted into the left corner. Pinelli will chase it down. Schmidt gets there first. Knocked down in the left corner. Angus Booth comes in and holds the puck in momentarily for the Kings. Sakos for Colorado. Angled it behind the net. It's turned over, but then the drop pass is intercepted by Colorado. Sakos into the neutral zone. McLennan right wing circle. Flicks it behind the net off the end boards. It's picked up there by Tardif, who gets knocked over. And now Rosmi tries to flick it ahead with 35 seconds to play in the period. Left side Tardif steps away and loses it to Pinelli, but just for a moment. Pinelli gets it back, angles the puck away, but not out of the zone. Held in right side. Amit shoots, blocked into the right corner with 20 seconds to play. Colorado with it right corner. pressed into the right wing quarter boards. The puck squirts free, and now Rosmi for the Kings will shoot it into the neutral zone off of Amit's glove with 10 seconds to go. The Kings will get a full line change here, except for Rosmi, who stays on. Colorado sends it in deep, and that's going to do it for the opening period. The Kings open the scoring 11:05 into the period, and at one point led in shots 8-4, but since then the Kings outshot 9-2 in the final 8 minutes of the first period, and Colorado takes a 2-1 lead into the first intermission.
I think when you look at the pace of the period, in the first half of the period, the Kings spent a little bit more time in the offensive zone. In particular, the Byfield line, I thought, had a couple of really good shifts with puck possession that allowed them to spend time on the other side of the blue line there down at the other end. And then as the period went on, I thought that Colorado got their legs going. No doubt that that first goal and then the second one coming so quickly, give them a little bit of a boost, and they just seemed to take over from there. The Kings had trouble getting pucks at the net, and they looked a little bit slow there in the latter part. I expect the physicality to pick up in the second period. I think everybody's got the jitters out of their way, and I expect it to be a little bit more intense as the second period comes to with the Kings trailing by 1 goal.
It's the rookie face-off, so part of the question entering this weekend is what exactly do you expect if you are the Kings coaching staff this weekend? The coaching staff is the Ontario Reign AHL coaching staff, led by first-year Reign head coach Marco Sturm. He comes down from the Kings, and then he's still got Chris Height, Matt Millar, and Brad Schuler with him as the assistants. What types of corrections are you going in to make in the first intermission when maybe the victory isn't your top priority, but at the same time, you still want to come here. You don't want to lose games.
No, you don't want to lose any games. And I think the things that they'll look at, I think one thing they need to address is the face-off circle. It all starts there, and we saw the Avalanche, gaining pucks right from the face-off. So responsibilities after the puck is dropped, whether you win the face-off or you lose the face-off, where's everybody going? And you have to go, with the in the mindset that you're going to lose. You have to anticipate that, because if you hesitate for a split second, it's going to lead to a good opportunity by the other team. So starts in the face-off circle. That gives you possession. I think the Kings can gain a little bit more possession time by winning face-offs, and it's not necessarily all the onus put upon the centerman. It's the wingers. You got to get in there. You got to win those 50-50 battles, or 50-50 battles with your winger coming off the boards for those loose pucks. So collectively as a group, again, just pull together a little bit more. You support each other. From the coaching staff, they'll probably pick out a couple of good things that they did, and I think those things will come in the early part of the period. And then secondly, again, take a look at where the goals were scored from, up high. Avalanche were able to get the puck up high, and they had maybe a little bit more time, so maybe gap control by the Kings in the defensive zone.
Well, the shots on goal after 20 minutes, Colorado 13, the Kings with 10. Goals in the first period, Francesco Pinelli from Clark and Nosiainen at 11:05, and then Colorado rapid-fire goals from Oscar Olausen, assisted by Olivier Boutin and Nolan Orzek, and then finally Sampo Ranta unassisted at 15:04 of the first period, and Colorado leads 2-1 after 20 minutes. We will take a break, come back for the second period here at TechCU Arena in San Jose. You're watching the 2022 Rookie Faceoff on LAKings.com. Back at the brand new Tech CU Arena in San Jose, it's game one of the 2022 Rookie Faceoff. John Schaefer, Darrell Evans with you. Thanks for joining us today on LAKings.com. Thanks to our friends at Black Dog Hockey for helping us put this together. It's 2-1 Colorado after 20 minutes. The Kings open the scoring on the goal from Frankie Pinelli, from Clark and Nosiainen, but then goals from Olausen and Ranta, two of the bigger names for Colorado in this weekend's showcase, getting on the board just 30 seconds apart. And now we go into the second period with the Kings looking to clean things up a little bit after looking pretty good to start the period and then shaky over the final 8 or 9 minutes.
Yeah, one thing that you have to remember, too, in the second period, you've got the long line change, so you have to be wary of that as well. Get the puck in deep. Make sure you're changing when you go into the offensive zone. And this is where that stretch pass can really come in handy as well when you catch the other team maybe making a line change. But Kings look for play with a little bit more pace here, involve their defense. I know a lot of the attack when Colorado had in the first period, a lot of it had to do, revolved around their defense becoming activated. So look for a couple of the Kings' defense to get involved and maybe to create some outnumbered attacks when they have possession of the puck on the other side of the center ice red line.
Byfield against Myers for the draw, and Byfield wins the face-off to begin the second period. Clark flicks it through neutral ice, and up the left side, Yamson draped on top of a man and then skates down behind the net. Madden tried to cut it off, but then it's picked up, and now Colorado back in their own end.
Yeah, we're going to have looks like a delay offside here. They're waiting for the Kings to get out of the zone, so the Avalanche will have an easy time to come out. Actually, it's a delay penalty going against the Kings.
And up the right side, Myers skates down in deep, dropped it back, and it's intercepted by Yamson. It'll be a holding minor penalty against the Kings, just 30 seconds in.
And it's going to be Yamson going to the penalty box for that hold, and not a good penalty, especially when it's taken in the offensive zone, not taking away any type of a scoring chance. So the Avalanche with a 2-1 lead get the game's first power play. Face-off will come all the way back deep into the Kings zone to the right of the goaltender, Ingham. First penalty called in today's game. Today's referees for game one are Michaela Ball and Jackson Kazari. The linesmen Benjamin Dubois and Eric Anderson. Colorado, the first power play of the game for either side. Sent in deep left side for Myers. He's got Bukaj with him. Myers turns and shoots it around the boards up to the right side. Olausen, the first goal scorer for Colorado, holds it in there and then back to the blue line. To the left circle. Bukaj creeps in, waits, doesn't have much, and looks back toward the blue line. Orzek, back and forth right side. Olausen shoots, blocked, and dribbles wide left. The Avs will hold it in, left circle, Bukaj, rink wide pass, back in front, Myers shoots, blocker save, Ingham. In deep, Myers got a great feed from Olausen, and now Bukaj for Foudy. Sent back to the blue line, and they will just barely hold it in with Orzek. Right side, Olausen waits, flicks it down in deep for Myers. Back to the hash marks far side, then to the center point, Orzek waits, looks right side, Olausen creeps in, shoots, blocked in front, a loose puck picked up by Bukaj, left circle. 1 minute gone off the power play clock, and Orzek couldn't hold it in. That'll allow the Kings to change, but Anonen comes up, plays it all the way to the blue line, but the Avs are offside. Grans was there. A nice stick check to break up the play anyway, but an offside called against Colorado with 54 seconds to play on the Yamson minor penalty for holding. Well, you go back to the first minute of that power play. Good puck movement by the Avalanche. Everybody playing on their offside in the offensive zone, being able to be a threat for a one-timer. Myers had the best chance, but a good job there by Ingham, patiently holding his ground there at the top of the paint, denying the chance there, and a great feed from Olofsson.
Back over the Kings' blue line, but chopped away by L.A. McLennan retreats and looks up ice with 40 seconds to go on the power play. The right side, angled in by Colorado. Chased down by Bhutan, but Nosiainen picks up and clears it the length of the ice. Kings will change again. A third penalty kill unit steps out for LA. Now Zaravalov into the neutral zone over the logo at center ice. Hands it off right side. Mishandled for a moment by Tardif, but now a long shot off the glove of the goaltender Ingham and shuffled away by the Kings. Held in right side Tardif, center point, then to the left circle for McLennan. Time winding down and Yamson out of the penalty box. Long shot, save, the rebound, backhanded in front, and another save by Ingham. Picked up by Colorado, creeping to the near side, around the circle. Pfizer drops it back for Ranta. Ranta left it for a moment, then picks it back up and plays it to the left point. Boutin down into the left corner. Back to even strength skating here. Flicked right side. Yamson goes over to collect. Long shot, banked off the boards behind the net. Looked for a wraparound, but bobbled it. Centers, high slot, a shot. Blocked wide. And now Kozior chases it down to the far corner. Yamson picks it up, and he will lift it into the neutral zone.
Yeah, relieves the pressure. Ingham, who had lost his stick seconds earlier, goes back behind the net to retrieve the stick, waiting for the next attack to come from the Avalanche.
Rosmi was trying to chase down the puck, but ran into one of the linesmen. Behind the net, Grans flicks it away from Lajoie. Schmidt holds it in along the board's right side, and now Colorado with it again. And the hash mark sent back up top. A long shot, blockered away by the goaltender. The loose puck through the circles. Diving for it, trying to pick it up, Nagy. And then right side. Flicked back up top to the right point. To the left side. And then backhanded down in deep. Nagy, Tardif both there for Colorado. Kings tried to knock it free and now picked off by Stefan. Held in by Tardif with Nagy with him. Tardif, lefty forward, skates around the net, drops it up to the high slot, but a bad pass. But Amit does a nice job of collecting and sending it back behind the net. To the right side, Zaravalov spins away from Rosmi. Zaravalov, high point, and now a shot. Man, it might have skimmed off the goaltender's glove. And Helge Grans, long shift for the big Swedish defenseman, turned the puck over. Tardif behind the net, tries to spin away from Lajoie. Backhanded it behind the cage, and Stefan's going to get called here for tripping as he knocked down Ben Myers behind the net. Inadvertently, it appears, but either way, it's a penalty against the Kings, and Colorado will get their second power play of the early minutes here in the second period.
And that's what happens when you spend too much time in a defensive zone, especially when the other team gets a chance to get a line change up on you. Fresh legs for the Avalanche. They continue to keep cycling the puck, and just like where they left off at the end of the first period, the Avalanche continue to throw pucks at the net, and they get another power play because of it. Lajoie in that first power play that the Avalanche had, he was credited with two block shots. Avalanche had 3 shots on goal in their first man advantage.
Another power play here, right side. Olausen to the middle for Foodie, and he tried to send it in front, dribbled away, and the Kings will clear it. First penalty kill for LA. Good penalty killing paired with some big-time stops from Jacob Ingham. Proved to be effective for the Kings. And now Colorado starts up ice again with Olausen. Right side, Foodie. Hands it off for Bukaj. Back to the blue line now for Boutin. Flicks it left side. Olausen, the lefty shot. He wants to get back to that right circle, probably, but he turns it over, and it's cleared by the Kings with 40 seconds off the penalty to James Stefan.
Well, we talked about the shots here at the end of the period. Shots now favor the Avalanche 18-10. So they've outshot the Kings after being outshot early 8-4, 14-2 over probably the last 10-12 minutes of playing time.
Booth tried to slap it along the boards, but it's held in. Centering feed, deflected off of Meyer's stick, and now shorthanded. Samuel Hellenius, a 2-on-1 rush if the Kings hurry. Flicked in front on the backhand, but he couldn't connect on the left side, and the Kings trying to get back here. Left side, Hellenius, good on the back check, picks it off and flicks it back into the Colorado zone with 44 seconds to go on the penalty, and the Kings will quickly get a change. But Hellenius stays on. Pinelli steps off the bench for the Kings. The logo applies a little bit of pressure, and now McLennan, right side, rolls through. Lajoie on it. He clears it the length of the ice, and it goes on net for Annunen. Quickly steps back up and leaves it there for Orzek. Nearly turned over with Pinelli on the forecheck there, shorthanded. 20 seconds to go on the power play. Here's Ranta up the left side. Cuts to the middle. Sampo Ranta tried to pull the trigger, had it knocked away, and Pinelli feeds it ahead, but just couldn't connect.
Yeah, it was Pinelli there on the back check. Did a great job just as Ranta was trying to pull the trigger on that shot from the slot. Give him a little bit of a hook there, lifted the stick, not allowing that shot to get through.
Right, rink-wide pass, right circle, sent back in front looking for a tip and couldn't connect with Taron Pfizer. Ranta still on the ice. Kings back to full strength, 2 for 2 on the kill here in the early minutes of the second period. Pfizer tried to send it in front, but it got blocked, and now Stefan gets bumped into, right back into the zone, right, waits, shoots, blockered away by Ingham, and the rebound jumped over Ranta's stick. Off the near wall, Ollery centers, and then picked up. Rosmi just stick-handled his way away from the puck. Kings will hold it in with Brant Clark. Former 8th overall pick sends it in deep for Andre Lee. Clark chases it down. Now Colorado starts up the left side with Zekos. He's run into hard by Andre Lee. The big Swedish forward ran him into the near boards. And now Kim Nosiainen, the lefty D-man from Finland, leaves it for Clark, who will spin away from one man, send it back into the neutral zone. Couldn't connect with Lee, but it rolls on net, and Annunen will opt to eat it for a whistle with 12:33 remaining in the second period.
And unofficially, that shot there, actually a pass by Brant Clark from his own zone, ends up on goal. We'll see whether or not he gets credit for a shot on goal. That will be the first one here in the period. It comes 7.5 minutes into the period. Again, going back to the first period, there was about 5-6 minutes there that they didn't get a shot on goal. So Kings have to find a way to get time in possession with the puck and get some pucks to the net.
Byfield wins the draw, and left side, Yamson in deep for Byfield. Couldn't collect, and Kozior pinches off the play right corner. The defenseman turned around there. The Kings trying to hold it in. Now Madden right circle. Tried to leave it for Byfield in the corner, but just couldn't connect. A little bit behind the big lefty forward Byfield. Madden leaves it for Byfield and Yamson. He got there. Now Byfield takes it away. Tries to skate toward the middle. Skates around. Turns, shoots. Tipped wide. And Kozior holds it in. Sharp angle chance. Sticked away by Annunen. Takes a funny bounce off a stanchion. But the Kings will hold it in with Angus Booth. Leaves it for Byfield in the far corner. Bodies up one man. Now Byfield, long shift for this forward line. Chip down in deep for Atu Yamson. Run into the boards, but Madden picks it up. Tipped away from him. He'll chase it down in the trapezoid. Madden, right corner. He lost an edge, and Byfield there to try to help out. Kings will get two new defensemen on, and behind the net, Madden with it. He's knocked down, and a penalty upcoming against Colorado as Madden was slashed and went down to the ice, and the Kings, with 11:32 to play in the second period, will go to the power play for the first time.
Yeah, I think that line that was just on the ice that drew the penalty, good work in the offensive zone, is probably who Coach Marco Sturm would like to get on the ice for the power play, but they'll go get rested up a little bit. They've been out there for an extended period of time, so Pinelli's line will step on the ice, and again, they're responsible for the lone goals by the Kings so far here in the afternoon. Kings' first man advantage. I think here will be get possession of the puck and get some pucks and bodies towards the net.
Grans and Nosiainen, the defensive pairing for the Kings on this power play. And now Grans will hold it in left point, sling it for Nosiainen above the circle. Center point, Grans turns and leaves it. Pinelli drops it back. Grans near circle. Nosiainen's shot was blocked. Good puck movement there along the blue line, and now Grans right point. Nosiainen to the near circle, down in deep. Tried to center it for Kemp. He kicked it to himself, but put it wide. And now it's backhanded the length of the ice by Colorado. And they're going to say it was tipped with a high stick, and the Kings will play it there. Faceoff's going to stay in the LA zone with 11:01 to play and 30 seconds off the penalty to Michael Diotte for slashing.
The Kings had the umbrella formation set up there. Grans gets the puck over to Nosiainen. Nosiainen with the one-time bid, but a nice block there by the defender. Ahmed came out there nicely squaring up with the shot, preventing it from getting through to the net.
So a defensive zone faceoff for the Kings here on the power play. Yamson, Kemp, off the faceoff. It goes on net. Ingham turns it away. Grans and Nosiainen. Grans saw time on the power play last year for the AHL's Ontario Reign. They set a single-season team-high record in the American Hockey League last year on the power play. He was a small part of that. As the Avs send it in deep with 50 seconds off the penalty to Diotte. 10:35 to go, second period here in San Jose. Game one of the rookie faceoff. Colorado leads LA 2-1. Sent down in deep, picked up by the Avalanche, and they can't clear it just yet. Yamson, nice play along the boards to hold it in. Skates away from the wall toward the middle, leaves it left side, and then drop back for Kemp. Stick handles his way away from one man, then gets knocked over. Back to the blue line. Grans just does hold it in with a poke check almost. Nosiainen hammered into the glass. Nosiainen back up to his feet, right corner. Long shift for this first power play unit that came out. Nosiainen from the hash marks. Up top for Grans. He waits, he shoots. Tipped into the glove of Annunen, no rebound. Yamson was knocked down looking for one with 10:01 to play in the period and 29 seconds remaining on the man advantage for LA. And really, the first 91 seconds of that power play, the same five guys really.
Yeah, pretty much the same. I mean, there was one face-off that slowed things down a little bit. It came about 30 seconds in. That's why Coach Marco Sturm elected to keep that unit on, giving the other unit a little bit more time. So they haven't got a lot of time to work with. Big face-off coming up deep here in the Avalanche zone to the left of their netminder.
Kings hold it in with Clark right point. Brant Clark slings it left circle, a shot, save, the loose puck in front of the blue paint and guided wide. Madden picks it up right corner with 18 seconds to go on the Kings power play. Brant Clark steps away from a man, leaves it toward the middle, they score! Taylor Ward on the power play ties the game with 9:44 to play in the second period.
Well, it all starts with the play. Brant Clark, when he gets the puck, a little bit of deception in his game, and this is one of his greatest assets as he comes in. Looks like he's going to take the puck to the net and possibly shoot the puck in that direction. And patiently, Ward just pulls himself out a little bit higher, gets his stick cocked and ready to pull the trigger on it, and a perfect pass there. He gets him as the goaltender's moving to his right. He goes back against the grain, beats him on his left-hand side. Power play goal, we're tied at 2.
Taylor Ward scored a couple of big goals for the Ontario Reign at the end of last season after joining from University of Nebraska Omaha, and 2 of them were from that same spot.
How could it be? There was no rink here.
Well, not here. Come on now,
I was
Darryl.
keeping you on your toes, keeping you on your toes.
Brant Clark picks it up in the Kings zone. He's got 2 assists. Rink-wide pass up the left side. Fiddler Schultz steps his way in. Schmidt ships it back into the neutral zone. The Kings on top of it, and I'll send it in deep. They would have been offside, have to let it go with 9:13 to play in the second period. The Kings goal on the power play from Taylor Ward, assisted by Brant Clark, his second of the game, and Tyler Madden. And the Kings tie it up with 9 minutes to play in the second. Back up to the right point, Orzek sends it toward the hash marks, but it jumped off a stick, and now that might be a penalty upcoming against Colorado. They'll call interference on Gabe Klassen. He just pushed a player in front of the net and knocked the Kings' net right off. There wasn't a lot there, but they'll call interference, and Klassen goes to the penalty box. The Kings 1-for-1 on the power play will get rapid-fire chances here.
And I'm sure they'll come right back with the unit that scored that goal again. They only had limited time. They went on the ice with 29 seconds left on that man advantage. Didn't take them long. They won the face-off. They got control of the puck and put it at the net to get themselves even. So Byfield's unit back on the ice, face-off in the right side over in the Avalanche zone, and we'll see where the Kings power play unit can go on this one.
Cleared the length of the ice, and Ingham slows it down for Brant Clark. The righty defenseman holds up at his own line along the glass near side. Leaves it for Byfield. QB steps in but has it poked away and cleared by Colorado with 8:33 to play here in the second period.
Good job there by Ahmet, the defenseman, as Byfield tried to penetrate and get a little bit deeper along that half wall. Ahmet stood him up. He was able to force a turnover, allowing the Avalanche to get the puck easier out.
Ward and Madden back and forth. Madden sends it back to the hash marks near side for Taylor Ward. Back to the blue line now. Clark leaves it for Madden. Banks it off the wall for Clark up top. Clark leaves it for Madden. Left side, Byfield above the far circle. He waits, centers for Madden. Back for Clark. Didn't have a shot. He tries to stick handle away from one man. It's chipped up in the air, and Clark gloves it down, bobbled it, and couldn't control it. It's cleared. And Tardif chases it down to apply a little bit of pressure on Byfield. Rolled away from Ward. Clark's there to pick it up. The logo at center ice, Brett Kemp. They'll try to get a new power play unit on the ice. Osianen, the defenseman, in deep to chase it down. Comes together with Schmidt in the right corner. And now that unit we saw start that first power play is on the ice. Osianen right corner. Takes a couple of stick checks. Slings it to the far side for Byfield, who stays on. Byfield to the left corner. Kemp between the circles. Shoots, lifted it wide and over the net. Yamson takes a check. Colorado will clear it with 25 seconds to go on the penalty to Gabe Klassen. Righty D-man Helge Grans out from behind his own net. Side Pinelli cuts down the middle. Pass got bobbled, and Colorado just does lift it over the blue line and out. Grans ran into the linesman, and now in front, Ranta guided it behind the net. Ingham didn't see it for a second. And now the Kings force it back into the neutral zone. Osianen had it poked away. Back to full strength Colorado. Ranta left side, tried to shoot it and fanned on it. Man, Sampo Ranta has one goal. He might have a few more chances tonight, but he's fanned on a few looks in deep. Left side, Yamson squeaks it free for Grans, who spins in front of his own net and lost it. Tried to center Colorado, but it got held up in front of the blue paint, and now Yamson. First Rio looks at Atu Yamson this week. coming over from Finland. He stick handles there, but lost it, and now Foodie up the near wall for Colorado. With the Kings line, leaves it for Olausen. He gets bodied up there by Kozior, and the puck deflects to the near corner with just about 6 minutes to play in the second period. Left side, Amit, the defenseman. Left-hander creeps in, bodied up by Angus Booth and lost the puck. Fiddler Schultz angles it out of the zone. Chased down by Boutin, and then turns it over in the neutral zone. Kings with it. Steffen back to the blue line now for Kozior. Cross for Booth, gives it back to Kozior, looks up the near side, and Steffen enters the zone. Over the Colorado line, takes a check from Boutin, and then tries to pick it up right corner. Boutin takes it away, and he lost it now. Fiddler Schultz holds it in and flicks it on goal with 5.5 to play, and Annunen will opt to cover it here and take a timeout. Here's where our first scrape of the ice, and only scrape of the ice, will come here in the second period after the Kings on the power play tie the game. Taylor Ward from Brant Clark and Tyler Madden at 10-16 to even us up at 2-2.
Yeah, Kings able to take advantage of that power play, get themselves even on the scoreboard. Unfortunately, with the second power play coming right back after it, a little bit of an adjustment by the Avalanche. Penalty killers a little bit more aggressive, keeping the puck around the perimeter. Kings had a little bit more difficult time trying to find the shooting lane. So we're even now, both teams at even in full strength with 5:26 left here in the second period. 2-2 hockey game, and as we've seen, it's kind of been a little bit back and forth. We've seen the flow change from one team to the other. See if now the Kings can match the Avalanche pace per pace, shift for shift. It all starts in the face-off circle. Better job in the face-off circle by the Kings as of late. More time in possession with the puck.
We don't have official face-off numbers here for the rookie face-off. There are the live updated stats, but we don't have any live scoring for the face-off numbers. In the first period, don't need the stats to tell you, Colorado was much better in the face-off circle in the first period. And here in the second, the Kings have started to do a much better job, and a lot of that has kind of stemmed from special teams, whether they were shorthanded or on the man advantage.
Yeah, special teams, the penalty kill did a good job. Lajoie with a couple of big blocks in that first power play by the Avalanche, and then the Kings took advantage of their power play. And again, we talk about not just the centerman, being involved in the face-off. It's the entire five-man unit that's out there. You got to box guys out. You got to get those 50-50 pucks. But collectively as a group, the Kings are doing a better job. The key face-offs are the ones that are at either end of the rink. I know the ones in the middle of the ice in the neutral zone lead to possession, but you want to make sure offensive zone you win those to be able to go on the attack, and in defensive zone you know where your assignments are so you don't give up grade A chances.
5:15 to play second period, tied at 2, and the Avs are offside with 5:10 to play. The shots on goal here through 35 minutes-ish. Colorado has 20, the Kings have 16. And in this period alone, Colorado and the Kings each with 7. That Byfield line shuffling just a little bit, it appears. I figured we might see this a little bit. It started Yamson, Byfield, and Madden. Right now, it's Byfield, Ward, and Madden. Yamson was just on the ice with Hellenius, and then those two went off. Near side, Boutin, tipped in by Olausen. And the first goal tonight for Colorado, and now Olausen above the hash marks near wall. Loses it there to Tyler Madden, plays it down the middle for Byfield, and he'll shoot it around the boards. Rolls clockwise to the near wall, away from Madden, and then picked up by Colorado with Boutin. Seemed to have a lot of ice time today. Olivier Boutin, and he's got an assist to show for it on that first Colorado goal. 4:35 to play second period. Kings over the red line from left to right. Madden leaves it for Ward to the middle. Byfield, high slot, Byfield shoots, and a shoulder save by Annunen. Ward on the rebound right corner, avoids a check there. And now Byfield comes in and picks it up. Avoids one defenseman in the corner, and now Kozior's shot pass deflected in front, and Ward shuffled it over the net and wide. Good chance there on the rebound. And now Kozior takes a check in front of the penalty boxes. It's worked free for Myers, but didn't have enough energy to go after it. Now Colorado over the left side. Cole Nagy steps past one man, but Kozior bumped him. Booth takes a check from Nagy, works the puck free for Frankie Pinelli. Banks it off the near wall, and now Brett Kemp speeds ahead. Over the Colorado line, around the near circle, skates behind the net. Run into there by Amit, but keeps the puck moving. It rolls free for Nagy, who shuffles it ahead for the Avalanche with 3.5 minutes to play here in the second period. Tied at 2, power play goal for Taylor Ward here in the middle period. Now it's turned over in front, a shot that took maybe 2 deflections, and Ingham made the save, but the Kings are going to take a penalty here with 3:23 to play. It looked like it was Cameron Wright in front of the net who might have been high-sticked by Bennett Rosmi, and the Kings are going to be shorthanded for the third time.
Yeah, it's going to be an interference call against Rosmi there. Again, a little bit too much time in the defensive zone, and the opportunity, the one puck that went towards the net there, Klassen fired it, as you right there, Josh. It probably went off 2 or 3 guys before it got through to the goaltender. May have slowed it up a little bit, but good concentration and focus there by Ingham, getting down low to be able to find the puck and hang on for the faceoff.
Colorado back to the power play. Just over 3 minutes to go here in the second frame. They're 0 for 2 today on the man advantage. Now all 3 power play opportunities coming here in the middle period. Right side, wristed in. McLennan cuts it off left corner. Kings will take it with Byfield. Lost it there, now above the left circle. A shot from Pfizer, glove save Ingham, and then he covers the rebound when it jumped out of his glove. With 3 minutes to play and a minute 38 remaining on the power play. It was one of those things where it was like, do I say 98 seconds or minute 38?
I know what you meant.
Opted for both.
Yep. Pfizer there, pretty good chances. He drives into the middle of the ice. Again, the Avalanche on their power play, they switch their wingers and their defense to make sure they've got a right-handed shot over on the left side, left-handed shot over on the other side. That opens up the opportunity for the one-timers. And Pfizer's, he's drifting into the middle of the ice. He's got the puck in the middle of the ice. That gives him more options. He puts that puck on net. Ingham was able to reach out with his left hand and make a glove save.
Held in right point by Colorado with now minute 30 to go on the power play. Left side right, back to the blue line. Right point Orzek, it's turned over and shot the length of the ice by Taylor Ward as the Kings penalty killing forwards will change. The defensemen stay on for now. Angus Booth on the left and Landon Kozior on the right. 2:30 to play second period. Tied at 2. Foudy angles his way in, hands it off for Bukaj, and he leaves it for Foudy, who chases it down. Myers had it poked away by Kozior, but he got it back. Booth bodies a man up in the right corner, and a loose puck slapped at in the right corner. Picked up now, the blue line now by Boutin. For Bukaj, Hassmark's far wall. Bukaj back up top, Boutin. Left side, Olausen left circle, shoots, tipped up in the air, and out of play by Myers. He was right there in front of the net. The goaltender Ingham was sliding from the far post to the near post to try to stop the Olausen shot, but Myers, like a baseball player with the stick horizontally, deflected it out of play.
Yeah, Myers was trying to provide a couple of different things right there. A distraction, maybe a pass coming through, possibly a screen, and then also for the tip, and it looked like he did get a piece of it and partially screened the goaltender, but it ends up going back up over the top of the glass behind the goaltender Ingham. Face off deep in the Kings zone to the right of goaltender Ingham.
Like a bunt that just turns into a foul ball. Kings win the draw and clear it. Turns into another 2-on-1 shorthanded chance. Left circle, centers, Pinelli couldn't sneak it through. The pass was just a little bit behind him and he fanned on it, but it still almost squeaked through the 5-hole. Kings send it into the neutral zone, and Boutin back and forth with Oscar Olausen.
Yeah, it posed as a bit of a change up there for the goaltender, and he was able to hold his ground. But nice job there by Hellenius there, taking that puck down the left side, waiting for the passing lane to come open, and maybe a little bit too aggressive was Pinelli, but he still was able to get that shot off, just didn't connect 100%.
Nice play by Lajoie. Gets it back and can't clear just yet. Out of the penalty box comes Rosmi, left circle, a shot, and a pad or blocker save by Ingham just on the inside of the left circle. Olausen had it but turned it over, just mishandled it a bit. Now a check thrown in the neutral zone, and Hellenius. Right side for Rosmi, and he runs a man over. On the right side, it was Amit who tried to stand up Rosmi, and Rosmi just freight trained through him. Drop back, Madden shoots, and a save, deflects out of play with 54 seconds to play in the period.
Well, just as that penalty was expiring, the power play for the Avalanche, Myers with a good opportunity. That was denied by Ingham. Pretty good shot there from the mid-slot area. And then the Kings come back the other way, and Rosmi with a big hit there. He was actually being stood up, but showing good stability right there as he knocks the defender to the ice. Face-off deep in the Avalanche zone to the left of the goaltender.
Kings now 3 for 3 on the penalty kill here in the second period. Power play goal scorer Ward comes on for the draw, and Madden behind the net comes away with it in the trapezoid. Wraparound chance tried to center, blocked and taken away by Colorado. Tardif, rink wide pass to the far side, knocked out of the air by Nosiainen, chased down by Wright in the far corner. Clark behind the net, gets a feed from Byfield, tries to avoid a check and clears the puck. The length of the ice, this will go far enough for icing with 30 seconds remaining in the period.
Yeah, one of those plays there that you got to be aware of how much time is left on the clock. These are those little mental hiccups. Maybe you want to play it off the glass. Just give it an opportunity to bounce out into the neutral zone, because you're lying again second period. You're a little bit more fatigued. You haven't been able to get off the ice, so the Avalanche wisely get fresh legs on the ice, and they're looking to win a face-off. And Quinton Byfield out there to take the draw for the Kings.
30 seconds left. Kings will take it away with Taylor Ward. He lifts it off the glass to the air in the neutral zone, and Schmidt swatted at it, but they will say it's played with a hand pass. Schmidt knocked it out of the air right to Ranta, who played the puck and got a whistle with 21.6 seconds to go.
Yeah, I think a little bit of a miscue there by the officials. Again, preseason for them as well, not realizing that puck ended up going off a King player, so it was not a hand pass. Should have continued to keep playing, but face-off will come just outside the Avalanche zone in front of the Kings bench.
Byfield against Taryn Fizer. Byfield wins it. Madden pulls it away for Kozior with 18 seconds to go. Kozior shoots it in. Byfield chases it down. Now Kozior right point, holds it in, shoots, tipped in front, saved by Annunen, and Byfield got turned around and didn't see the loose puck lying in front. Booth takes a man out of the play, and Kozior with 3 seconds to go will send it around the boards, and that's going to do it for the second period. Well, it was a shaky conclusion to the opening period for the Kings. They start the second period with a couple of big penalty kills, and then on their own power play opportunity, score at 10:16 of the period. Taylor Ward from Brant Clark, his second assist, and Tyler Madden on the man advantage to tie the game up at 2. So far, it was the face-offs that led to Colorado chances in the first period. The Kings cleaned it up and improved in the second period, but really special teams, a big part of the middle period.
Yeah, when you're going to play in tight hockey games, one-goal games, if you can win that special team battle, you're going to find yourself in a pretty good position in a lot of games. And right now in a 2-2 game after 40 minutes of play, Kings are winning that special team battle. All 5 power plays came in that second period where the Kings went 1 for 2, the Avalanche 0 for 3. Lajoie with a couple of big blocks on the penalty kill for the Kings in the defensive zone, sacrificing his body. And then on the power play, good movement by the first unit. They wore the Avalanche penalty killers down, and then fresh legs came out with Byfield's unit. They were able to connect. In that period, we saw the Kings go the first 7.5 minutes without a shot on goal, and then the rest of the way, they ended up picking up 10 shots on goal in the last 12.5 minutes. So definitely the pace picked up for the Kings in the second half. It's something they're going to have to carry on into the third period. Next goal of this hockey game is going to be a big one as we skate into the final 20 minutes, knotted at 2.
You mentioned the shots for the Kings in the second period, 10, a two-period total of 20. The Avs also 10 for a two-period total of 23. The difference right now, like we mentioned, special teams. Kings are 1 for 2 on the power play in the second period alone. The Avalanche 0 for 3. And after 40 minutes of play here in Game 1 of the 2022 Rookie Faceoff, it's the Kings 2 and the Avalanche 2. We will take a quick break and come back for the third period here at Tech CU Arena in San Jose. Third period tied at 2 between the Kings and the Colorado Avalanche here in Game 1 of the 2022 Rookie Faceoff. Hi again, everybody. Josh Schaefer, Darrell Evans with you today at the brand new Tech CU Arena here in San Jose. And Darrell, the final 8 or 9 minutes of the first period, not great for the Kings. The first 8 or 9 minutes of the second wasn't perfect, but they had some good penalty kills. The final 10 minutes of the second period, they seemed to, kick it into a different gear.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting which one of the two teams is able to establish the pace or set the pace of the way that this third period is going to be played. Puck possession, face-offs, always important out there. The physicality picked up. All 5 power plays in the game came in that second period, so physical play was a little bit more evident, a little bit more contact out there. So now managing the puck in the defensive zone, short shifts. You could probably see a little bit of signs of fatigue as well, even though it's early in the season. You're not used to going all out for 30 seconds with a lot of resistance out there, so you got to manage yourself on the ice. But shots on goal, get the pucks and bodies towards the net right now, put a test to the goaltenders. I think the next goal of this hockey game is going to be a big one.
Goals for the Kings today. Frankie Pinelli in the first period, Taylor Ward on the power play in the second. Assists from Brant Clark on each. The first, Kim Nosiainen, the second goal, Tyler Madden. Back underway here in the third period at Tech CU Arena, and a bouncing puck on goal saved by Jacob Ingham with just 8 seconds off the clock. Now, Brant Clark, we talked about him a little bit earlier. This is the first real chance I think a lot of Kings fans have seen him in a game scenario, and he's got a pair of assists today, pretty deceptive maybe on both goals.
Yeah, some good deception on his game. We see him a couple of times. Again, you look at the level where he played at before when he was playing junior hockey. He's probably a huge step above so many players out there. So now all of a sudden, you got guys a little bit more poised, a little bit more patience here, and maybe not going for all those moves, but he still found a way to get on a score sheet a couple of times so far through 40 minutes of play.
Nosiainen shot off the knee of Olausson, and now Ward circles around. Ward turns, shoots, save, rebound. Nosiainen couldn't get on it before Annunen slashed it away. Nosiainen got knocked over, but he just couldn't hold the puck in here. Up the right side, Foudy takes a check to the middle. Myers shoots, rising shot over the crossbar, guided away by Brant Clark. And now the righty D-man starts up, leaves it for Andre Lee and goes off for a change. Lee dumps it down deep and chases it down, runs into Taron Fizer, and now works the puck free, but right to Boutin. And Boutin takes it away. Shot into the Kings zone, around the net, clockwise to the near side. Bukaj centers, Fizer fanned on it, flicked away by LA. And now Andre Lee angles it off the far boards into the neutral zone. Colorado right back the other way. Ronta's pass got tipped, but he ends up with it left side. Drops it back, Bukaj shoots wide left. Off the boards behind the cage, and the trapezoid kicked along by Bukaj. And the Kings will take it away with Samuel Hellenius. Stretch pass for Bennett Rosmi. He had it knocked away by Orzek and comes together with him in the left corner. Rosmi coming off of a German League championship with Eisbären Berlin. Another one of those AEG teams. Bennett Rosmi, a company man, sent in deep up the right side. Kozior guides it along behind the net and took Tardif out of the play, but Tardif shoots at a glove save by Ingham. A fortunate bounce for Ben Tardif, but an unfortunate result. A flash of the leather from Jacob Ingham keeps it a 2-2 game 2 minutes into the period.
Yeah, Tardif had the right idea there, knowing that he might catch the goaltender deep in his crease. Just get that shot away as quickly as you can, but Ingham held his ground. He was about halfway out to the edge of his crease, but he was able to reach over with his left hand, taking away the bid to the far side of the net.
Avs couldn't hold it in at the blue line, and now Schmidt right side, pokes it ahead, and then picked up by Booth. Back and forth and into the neutral zone. Ellie Fiddler-Schultz has it poked off his stick, long shot. That's blocked. That shot coming in from a sharp angle the right side. Guided back for Ollery to the blue line. A shot blocked in front through the circles, and now Colorado the other way. Zach Sakos up the right side. He holds up above the circle, spins and leaves it left side as Diot sent it in deep. And now right corner, the Kings will take it away. Ollery turned it over, and now Sakos. Tardif with him. Sakos shoots. Puck flutters over the net into the near corner. So Ravilov came in to try to pinch the play off, but the Kings will take it away. Stick handling over their own line up the left side. And the Kings will change here. Colorado maybe try to catch him in it. And a dump in that's fanned on by the Avs, and Madden, fresh off the bench, takes it away. To the near wall, Tyler Madden ducks under a check, and Madden gets it back on the give and go with Byfield. He shoots a save, the rebound, save again, Annunen, loose puck in the blue paint, and the goaltender reaches out and claws the puck back toward his pads and gets a whistle with 16:46 to go. The give and go between Byfield and Madden, and a quick burst of energy from number 37, and it leads to another good scoring chance for the Kings.
Yeah, Madden coming in his off wing there, used the defender as a screen, threw the puck at the net, and because doing that, when he threw that puck at the net, the goaltender wasn't able to handle it quite as clean. Comes out of his catching hand, and Madden follows up on his own rebound, sending a second attempt right back at the net.
Off the faceoff, backhanded behind the cage there. Madden's there, as is Quinton Byfield. Puck comes free, wraparound chance from Ward, couldn't tuck it in front. And Byfield takes a man down. Play goes on, and up the near side, here's Taylor Ward. Ward stick handles his way in, and it is then whistled for offside.
Yeah, you look at the position where Ward is. He's about 2 feet inside the blue line, and that's exactly what you want to do as a defender. You want to stop a guy up right there, because as Ward went to stick handle with the puck, he ends up bringing the puck out on his own, outside the blue line, forcing the offside call. Face-off will just come outside that line.
Byfield for the face-off, and on the second effort, Myers pulls it back for Orszak. Foudy in the neutral zone, pressed into the glass in front of the penalty boxes. Myers keeps the play alive for Olausson. Down and deep, Nosiainen bodies a man up, and that leaves the puck for Brant Clark. Tied up with Foudy, but then shrugs him off, and Clark starts up ahead. Foudy behind him, shakes him off again, and now Clark backpedals into his own end, sends it up in front of the Kings bench for Aatu Jomsson. Nosiainen now over the San Jose Barracuda logo at center ice, shoots it in, blockered away by the goaltender. Hellenius knocks a man over in the near corner. Lee on top of it, but Jomsson couldn't hold it in. Kings with it with Mark Lajoie for a moment, and then back the other way down the middle. Klassen looked like he faked a shot, then puck ended up out of his reach. A shot that's saved by Ingham, kept away from the net, and up the near side, Lee lifts it into the neutral zone. In front of the Kings bench, it's tipped in, and Cole Nagy chases it down. Nagy takes a slight bump from Lajoie. Hellenius comes in and pokes the puck away, and now Helge Grans behind the Kings net with just about 5 minutes off the clock in the third period. Tied at 2 between the Kings and the Avalanche in Game 1 of the 2022 Rookie Faceoff here at Tech CU Arena in San Jose. Penalty upcoming against the Avalanche. Jomsson waits in the trapezoid, steps back to the near side, leaves it in a shot that's blocked there by Wright, played by Colorado, and a penalty upcoming against the Avs. Looks like it's going to be a holding minor against Schmidt.
Yeah, this all be because of the work of Anders Lee there. He did a great job along the boards, kept those legs going, and Schmidt didn't have position upon him, and the bigger body, Anders Lee, was able to draw the penalty. So good work, and he's doing that consistently throughout the game along the boards, utilizing that big body of his, keeping the puck in motion and keeping the legs going. So power play number 3 for the Kings. Chance to look back for the lead here. It's 2-2, 14:56 left in the third.
They're 1 for 2 today, and this is the unit that got it done. Ward shoots at a save by Annunen. Looking for his second power play goal of the game. Taylor Ward rips one on net after the clean faceoff win by Byfield.
And you see Ward switching wings there. He comes over, Anders Lee, left-handed shot. He goes over to the other side, so when Ward gets that puck off the faceoff, he's on his forehand coming into the slot.
Clark at the blue line, leaves it for Byfield, left circle. Drop back pass, Clark to the right circle, a shot tipped in front wide of the left post. Byfield, hash marks near wall, skates to the bottom of the circle, centering feed, right circle, a shot from Madden was blocked. The rebound jumped over Ward's stick, and now Clark takes a man out of the play, and they're going to call a penalty on Brant Clark for it.
Yeah, it's going to be interference, I believe. That's exactly right. What happened was when Clark tried to keep the puck in, his feet were still, he wasn't moving, and he made too aggressive on the contact. So an interference call, that'll negate the power play for the Kings. We'll go 4-on-4 for the first time here this afternoon for the next minute and 33 seconds.
In that situation, is it even the contact that he makes, or is it the fact that he telegraphed he was going to make that contact?
Yeah, I think the big thing is, again, sometimes he got caught in the middle there. He got caught standing still. So maybe even start coming back. Get the legs going, and if you make that contact, at least the officials see that you're making an effort to get back into play.
So we skate 4-on-4 for 90 seconds. Byfield takes it out of the zone, and Pfizer retreats for Colorado to pick it up in his own end. Bhutan, Zaravalov, Pfizer, and Foudy for Colorado. Comes free up the left side. Bhutan with Pfizer in front. Shoots, blocker save. The rebound in front. Another blocker save by Ingham. And poked away. Madden, the end of a shift, just couldn't chase down the loose puck as it was just him, the puck, and the goaltender all the way at the other side of the ice. With speed, Zaravalov drops it back for Foudy. He holds up and spins back toward the blue line. Just does keep it in. The Kings will take it away. Down the middle, Riley Fiddler-Schultz didn't have enough on it and tries to feed Ollery, but it squeaks through and goes down behind the net in the trapezoid. Ollery, Fiddler-Schultz, Booth, and Kozior on the ice now for the Kings in the 4-on-4. Kozior hash marks right side. Defenseman in deep. Avalanche player goes down and loses a stick for a moment. A shot rising over the crossbar. Held in by the Kings. Left side, Fiddler-Schultz drops it back for Angus Booth, drafted this offseason. Right side, a shot. Save, Onnernen. The shot coming in from the hash marks of the far circle. With 13:09 to go in the period. 14 seconds remaining on the 4-on-4 skating.
That shot there by Kozier. He let that shot go, but from the outside, from the perimeter, defensively, the Avalanche did a good job isolating one-on-one. So from the Kings standpoint, the way that you're going to get a better opportunity is somebody's got to drive a seam. Somebody's got to challenge somebody one-on-one. You can't be content to shoot the puck from that position. All you're doing is playing catch with the goalie.
Puck to the near side. Sakos chases it down. Schmidt standing up in the Colorado penalty box. And the door now swings open. The Avs are back to full strength. The Kings will clear it here. No icing, with the Kings now shorthanded for the next 17 seconds. Orzek turns, look to drop it back. There was nobody there, so he shuffled it to the far side and gets stood up at the blue line, and the Kings send it into the neutral zone. Brant Clark standing up in the Kings penalty box. As the final seconds tick off of his minor penalty, and we're back to 5-on-5 skating. Clark turns and joins the play. Backhanded chance saved by Ingham with Klassen in front. And the Kings with Kozior behind the net. Looking back up ice. Banked off the glass near side. Clark takes it away. Flips it to the far side of the ice. Hellenius chases it down. Big forward couldn't get there in front of Wyatt Ahmet. And now stick handling up the left side. Alex Bukaj. Back toward the left circle. Nice poke check there from Lajoie. And now Atu Jompson angles his way out of the zone. But Zaravalov comes in and sends it back toward the Kings blue line. Up the left side, right, shoots wide right. Ingham let it go, and now right side, the Avalanche with it, trying to cycle it around. Instead, Myers will skate it back to neutral ice. Cole Nagy tried to backhand it into the Kings zone and instead sent it into the Kings bench with 11:42 remaining here in the third period. Shots on goal now as we approach the halfway point of the third. Colorado has 28, the Kings with 26.
And backup goalie this afternoon, David Rennick, he gets credited for his first save over there as he reaches up there, protecting his teammates and the trainers in behind him there with his big catching glove.
Expecting to see David Rennick tomorrow for the Kings against the Vegas Golden Knights. That's another 2 p.m. puck drop here at TechCU Arena. And then Monday, 3 p.m. game against the San Jose Sharks. Well, there's two goaltenders that we got to figure out who's going to play the third game. I think it makes sense to split it down the middle maybe. But we'll see what we get. Last year it was 3 goalies, 3 games. Pretty straightforward. This year, 2 goalies, 3 games. Madden was going at it for a few seconds there with Cameron Wright. Now the Kings behind their own net. Clark takes a check, held in left side. A long shot that dribbles wide of the right post. It might have got through to Ingham, who deflected it. And now the Kings will take it away with Clark. The defenseman has 2 assists tonight. Led Barrie in the OHL in points last year as a defenseman. To the right point, Nosiainen held it in for a moment but couldn't get it deep. And now Clark takes a check and kind of just shrugged off Nagy, who was coming at him a little off balance. Clark will go off for a change. 11 minutes to play, third period. Kings and Avalanche tied at 2. Here in the third period of the 2022 Rookie Faceoff. A couple players come together. A stick got launched up in the air. And now Kings take it away with Frankie Pinelli up the left side. Dances his way past Orzek. Chases it down left corner. tries to guide it along the boards clockwise around to the right corner, leaves it up top, but it's intercepted by Colorado. Over the red line from left to right. Over the right wing side now, Ben Myers turns, tried to center. There was nobody there, and it's picked off by Bennett Rosmi. Kings with it, own zone. Rosmi down the middle. Stretch pass up the right wing side. Kemp into the zone, right circle. Wraps it around to the near side. Centering feed, and Rosmi just couldn't get it to go. Held in by the Kings. Kemp at the blue line, and they're going to call a hand pass, I believe, unless they're calling a penalty here.
No, hand pass. I think you got it right there, Josh. You look at that play. A nice play there by Kemp. Recognizing instead of being selfish and just batting the puck into the goaltender, he took the puck in behind the net and then tried to get it across to Rosmi at the far post on the back door. And that play should have connected out there. Good second effort there by Kemp keeping that play alive and Rosmi driving to the post.
I don't think the goaltender got a piece of it, but if he did, he saved what could have been a 3-2 Kings lead. Right side, Ollery tried to leave it for Steffen, and the puck up in the air, glove down by Sakos. Now Tardif couldn't get it out. Kings will hold it in with the big lefty defenseman Mark Lajoie. Right side, Fiddler Schultz throws a check. Steffen held it in by deflecting the puck with his skate for a moment, and now Tardif circles back into his own end. Stretch pass into the neutral zone and tipped in. Ingham in the trapezoid behind the net. Leaves it to the far corner, and the Avalanche take over there. Tried to center, but it bounced up in the air away from Pfizer, and the Avs will regroup at their own blue line. 9.5 to play. Lajoie took Tardif out of the play. No icing here. Nosiainen collects the puck in the trapezoid. Kim Nosiainen, drafted by the Kings a few years ago and ended last season in the AHL with the Ontario Reign after a full season in the top Finnish league. Turned over in front of the net. Jomsson couldn't get it to go. Jomsson tries to wrap it around, thrown in front. Lee in front and puts it off the blocker of Annunen. Andre Lee up top for Nosiainen. Slings it right side. Brant Clark waits. Fakes, shoots, save Annunen. Loose puck to the far side of the blue paint and then covered with 8:56 to go. And we'll take our timeout here on the ice. We'll get a clean scrape. And the Kings with a couple of really good chances here these last couple of minutes, but unable to find the back of the net, and the score remains 2-2 with 8:56 to play.
Yeah, a lot of it comes with activating the defense. Defense becoming involved in the play right from the defensive zone out, and then in the offensive zone, getting involved in the cycle, getting their sticks on the ice, and making themselves available for a return feed.
The shots on goal here in the third period. The Kings now up to 28 on the game, and in the period they have 8 for a 3-period total of 28. The Avs with 6, a 3-period total of 29. The scoring today, the Kings opened the scoring in the first period. Frankie Pinelli from Brant Clark and Kim Nosiainen at 11:05. A great centering pass along the goal line from Clark with Pinelli in front to give the Kings a 1-0 lead. About 3 minutes and 30 seconds later, Oscar Olausen scored from Olivier Boutin and Nolan Orzek to tie the game. And then just about 30 seconds after that, Sampo Ranta scored what was originally unassisted. And over the last couple of minutes, they've added 2 assists to it. Alex Bukaj and Taron Pfizer get the assists. That gave the Avs a 2-1 lead entering the second period. They had a couple of chances to extend that lead, but the Kings go 3 for 3 on the penalty kill in the second period alone. And then on their first power play opportunity of the game, Taylor Ward found the back of the net from Brant Clark and Tyler Madden at 10:16 of the middle period. Clark with his second assist of the game.
And you look at the line change that was made from the beginning of the game. Ward started the game with Hellenius and Andre Lee in that first period. And then since he's been on the line with Byfield and with Tyler Madden, that line has been very effective. I think a lot of it has to do with the experience of Taylor Ward. Again, a big body, a little bit more experience out there, a little older, and he's doing a really good job at making himself noticeable and getting around the puck on the ice.
Byfield wins the faceoff, collects it himself, then tried to shuffle it on net. Madden kept it alive. Byfield had his stick chopped out of his hands and draws a penalty and then throws a late check. It wasn't too late, but it was right when the whistle was blown, with Ben Myers stopping the puck and getting that whistle against Colorado. And the Kings look like they'll be going to the power play here unless, of course, they try to send Quinton Byfield as well, but I don't think they will.
No, there's going to be one penalty. Olofsson for the Avalanche. He's going to get a slashing penalty as he knocks the stick out of Byfield's hand. This is one of these things. This penalty here, Josh, I'm not sure I completely agree with. Just because a player loses his stick I don't necessarily think the guy should get a slashing penalty. He's not holding on to stick with much of a grip. In this case, I'm not saying that was the case, but I've seen it so many games where guys will just drop their stick, and it's almost like embellishing a call. Not that Byfield did there. It was a pretty good slash by Olsson.
Cleared the length of the ice after the faceoff. The Kings 1 for 3 today on the power play. Scored on their first, 0 for on their last 2. One of them they came up empty, the other one they took a penalty of their own. Toward the middle, Clark backs his way to the top of the circle, then gets it back right point. Clark to the top of the circle, shoots, glove, save, Annunen. No rebound with 8:22 to go, and 26 seconds off the penalty to Ben Myers.
Good release there by Clark, waiting just long enough for Andre Lee to get right there at the top of the crease, take away the sight lines of the goaltender, Antunen. And the shot there, you're still able to find it as Clark tried to go upstairs on the glove side. That bid denied by the goaltender.
Byfield another face-off win here. Or rather, that was Taylor Ward. Byfield in front. The left side, Byfield shoots, blockered away by the goaltender. And a late whistle. It looked like it went off the netting, and it did, with 1:25 to play.
Yeah, the way they're setting up here for the power play, Ward is out there. He joins up front. He's going up there with Andre Lee and Tyler Madden up front. Byfield over on the other side when the faceoffs are on the right-hand side. Madden is taking those draws. Now this one being on the left, Byfield will move back up front, and Madden will move to his position back in the point.
Andre Lee getting power play time here. We saw a little bit of that at the end of the AHL season with Ontario. Clark for Byfield. Clark looked like he wanted to encroach and pick it up, and it's cleared out of the zone with speed. Seikos short-handed, bodied up. Seikos tried to go 5-hole, and Ingham wouldn't budge. He had Madden draped all over him. Tardif checked from behind by Andre Lee, and a penalty upcoming against the Kings.
Yeah, look at that shorthanded bid there by Seiko. Good job there by Ingham, the goaltender. Knowing that there was pressure coming from the backside, he dropped the paddle of his stick to deny the 5-hole bid by Seiko, but Avalanche follow up, get possession of the puck. They draw a penalty in the offensive zone, and again, we'll go back to some 4-on-4 hockey.
And so the penalty here is going to be against Taylor Ward. At first, I thought they were calling the check by Andre Lee, in which case I think I would have disagreed with it, because that's when the whistle or the arm of the referee went up. But it looks like they'll call it down in the corner, and Ward will sit to negate the final 63 seconds of power play time for the Kings. So the Kings' last 2 power plays have been ended by taking penalties of their own. 4-on-4 skating again. Schmidt feeds left side, and Sampo Ranta will opt to backpedal out of the zone into the neutral zone. The right side, Ranta. If he sees a little bit of ice, he's going to take advantage of the space. Pfizer right side, gets turned around, and the Kings will eat some time. So they call Taylor Ward 2 minutes for interference at 12:09 of the period. Now 4-on-4 skating with Pinelli. Saw a little bit of room. Rink-wide pass up the right side. Clark leaves it for Nosiainen, and his shot's blocked out of play on the right side of the ice with 7:15 to play and 27 seconds remaining in 4-on-4 skating.
Yeah, that was Ronta that stepped up into that shooting lane, denying the bid there by Nosiainen as he tried to put the puck at the net going against the grain. Going back to when on the early part of that shift when it started 4-on-4, as the Avalanche won the draw, Ronta got the puck up high. Instead of trying to make a play, force the play, he took it outside the line, and he backed all 4 Kings players up to the blue line. Then he turned on the Jets, was able to penetrate, get the puck in deep by being able to carry it in on his own.
Up the left side, Foudy speeds ahead through neutral ice. Dishes it right side. Backhanded in front, kicked out by Ingham. 15 seconds to go, a 4-on-4. The Kings with a 2-on-1 chance if they hurry. Up the right side to the circle, trying to center for Booth, the defenseman. And now a Kings player taken down on the right side. Play goes on as Olausen stands up in the Avalanche penalty box. And now a short power play for Colorado. Foudy circles the net to the left side, tried to center for Myers. It was intercepted by Yamson, who got tied up and draws a penalty. And it's cleared back to the Colorado zone. And it's going to be a hooking minor. And that will do away with the final 45 seconds of Colorado's power play.
Yeah, that's just an unnecessary, nonchalant penalty, and it's going to be Myers going to the penalty box, and he doesn't like the call. And, you know, you get into the offensive zone when Janssen, he picked up the puck. He made a little bit of a spin, Myers was standing still and got caught on the backside reaching in for the hook.
And so we will instead continue 4-on-4. 45 seconds to go on the power play, or on the penalty to Taylor Ward. And then the Kings will have 1:15 of power play time. They'll hold it in here at the blue line with Helge Grans, who couldn't get it deep. It's picked off by the defenseman Orzak. He'll turn and drop it back. Taryn Pfizer had it tipped away. Hooked along by Fiddler Schultz. And now Fiddler Schultz takes it away. Tries to turn away from a check, and now Colorado with Ronta. 6:10 to go in regulation, still tied at 2 here at the Tech CU Arena in San Jose. This game here in the Rookie Faceoff is officially opening this building. First game ever played here. Right side sent down in deep in the right corner. Mishandled for a moment. Ward steps up in the penalty box, and the Kings are back to full strength here and have a power play for the next 1:15. Up the right side, quickly speeding into the zone, and then checked into the right wing corner boards. That looked like the defenseman Zuravalov, and now the Kings will take it away on the power play. That top unit out, Byfield over the blue line. He's got Lee with him. Rink-wide pass, held in right side by Madden, sends it down into the corner. Byfield in the trapezoid, flicks it away for Taylor Ward. Back up top for Clark, skates toward the middle. Flicks it right side, Madden to the left side. Byfield waits, Byfield shoots, and a glove save by Annunen. With 5:20 to go in the period and 45 seconds to go on the power play.
A nice play there by Madden, finding that seam, being able to dish the puck all the way across to his left. Byfield patiently waiting for that puck to come across, adjust the body, a quick release, but Antonin, the goaltender, does a good job coming across to his right, telescoping out, reaching back with his left hand, making a glove save.
That same unit stays out. Byfield yanks it back to the blue line for Madden center point. Left wing side for Clark. Byfield and Clark back and forth. Brant Clark skates to the middle, flips it up in the air for Madden, gloved it down, tried to center for Ward. He got tangled up, and Colorado can't clear. 30 seconds to go on the power play. Back for Clark, fakes a shot, skates right circle, leaves it for Madden, and he will hold it in. Did a miscommunication, but kept it in, and this puck way up in the air off the top of the glass behind Ingham with 15 seconds to go. Let's see if the Kings try to push it a little bit here on the power play, or if they're just going to opt to eat those final seconds and get a new line out. Booth, a new defenseman on the ice, and now Myers out of the penalty box. So the Kings wanted to wait, get a second defenseman on the ice, get the fourth forward off, and that's what they do for the final seconds of the penalty. Myers out of the box left side, avoids a check, sends it back to the blue line with 4:20 remaining in regulation. Tied at 2 here in game 1 between Colorado and LA in the Rookie Faceoff. Diote tried to find Cameron Wright, but just flipped it right over his stick blade, and now Myers collects in the trapezoid, avoids a check from Kozior. Behind the net, Myers, the Minnesota product. Center point now, Schmidt shoots, score! Tipped in front by Myers, fresh out of the penalty box. He legs out a shift, and he's got the go-ahead goal with 3:53 remaining in regulation.
Yeah, good play up high. Schmidt patiently hanging onto the puck, waiting for those red jerseys to get into that slot area, and it was Myers that came across, stick in position, extended out front. He gets a piece of it, deflecting it past Ingham for a 3-2 lead with 3:53 left here in the third period.
Myers in front on the long shot. Just snuck past the goaltender Ingham, and yeah, he just curled away from the defenseman and found a little bit of space in front of Ingham in the blue paint, and he beats the goaltender for a 3-2 Colorado lead. Kings with 3:40 to find the equalizer here. Into the trapezoid, Fiddler Schultz on top of it for the Kings, works it free, held in center point by Clark. His shot is blocked, it bounces into the far corner. Centering for Steffen, played it off of his skate to himself, couldn't get the shot off. And now Diote behind the net. The goal for Ben Myers, assisted by Schmidt on the shot, and then Cameron Wright gets the secondary assist. Kings with it in their own end. With 3:05 to go here in regulation. 3-2 Colorado here in the Rookie Faceoff. Ollery around the logo at center. Tried to backhand it deep, but it's gloved by Ahmet. Now Tardif, rink-wide pass up the left side for Taryn Pfizer. Lajoie comes over, keeps the stick on the ice and knocked it away, and in deep, a chance saved by Ingham, and he pulls it back to himself with 2:45 to play here in regulation.
Now we'll see how aggressive Marco Sturm is here at getting the goaltender out, being that it's early in the preseason, game number 1. We'll see, whether the Kings, when they get the puck into the offensive zone in clear possession of it, they elect to get Ingham to the net. So Ingham holds onto that puck right there. Face-off will be deep in the Kings zone to his right. 2:45 left on the clock. And again, we'll monitor the goaltender. We'll see when Marco Sturm and the coaching staff elect to get him to the bench for the extra attacker.
Off the face-off, tied up by Wright. Yamson worked it free, and now Lajoie behind the net. Yamson picks it up for the Kings in front of the bench. Tried to stick handle his way through the neutral zone. Orzek run into by Hellenius, and Yamson comes up with the puck for a moment, and now swept into the Kings zone by Colorado with 2:25 to play. Into the neutral zone, Hellenius. He shrugs off Orzek, then gets tied up along the boards. Wright worked it free, but Lajoie frees the puck for Helge Grans. Hellenius tips it in at the red line. No icing, and Madden chases it down. Comes together with Boutin. A little bit of stick fighting there, and now Orzek couldn't get it out. Byfield in the right corner, drops it back to the blue line. Clark waits, shoots, blocked in front. Loose puck picked up by Ward. There goes the goaltender Ingham for the extra attacker with 1:50 to play. Byfield to the blue line, left point Clark, shoots, sailed wide, Ward on it right corner. Ward in the right circle, waits, shoots, save, the loose puck, rebound, steered behind the net, Ward for Byfield, he fanned on it, and it escapes the zone, rolling toward the empty net, but it won't go far enough. Clark picks it up with 90 seconds to go, 6-on-5 skating, the Kings with the extra attacker here in game 1. And the Kings offside, the bouncing puck collected by Byfield, but Brant Clark was over the blue line with 1:25 to go.
Well, a couple of looks there for the Kings. First one by Ward. He gets the shot just off to the left side of the net. That turned aside by Antonin, the goaltender. He picks up the rebound, goes in behind the net, comes out the other side, tries to give it to Byfield, who was open for a split second but was unable to connect. He fans on it, and that brings the puck back outside, relieving the pressure, allowing the Avalanche to get some fresh legs on the ice.
And Marco Sturm on the Kings bench opts to call a timeout here. And if you're looking at the Kings bench there, in the middle of that scrum is Brad Schuler, recently promoted to assistant coach of the Ontario Reign. Actually had him on the Rain Check podcast a couple of days ago. I know, Daryl, I know you're a huge fan of that. And we were talking with Brad Schuler the other day. He's actually going to be in charge of the Ontario Reign power play this year. And when you've got the Reign coaching staff behind the bench, that's Schuler bringing the guys together to talk about what you're going to do here once you can get that extra man on the ice.
Yeah, and he's got a wealth of talent. I know not a lot of the guys that he's going to be able to work with through the course of the season aren't available to him right here in this particular game, but you look at the effectiveness of the power play by the Ontario Reign last year and some of the players that they will have on that roster this year. They got the potential, again, to be a very creative power play. Good guys back on the point to be able to quarterback things, and some experienced guys like Tynan up front to be able to move things around and distribute the puck up front. So should be another good year on the power play for the Ontario Reign this upcoming season.
And remember, there's a few guys that are here in San Jose this weekend that he does not have the opportunity to draw up a play for right now. Akil Thomas, Martin Chromiak not in the lineup tonight, expecting them to go tomorrow. And there goes Ingham to the bench after the neutral zone faceoff. Nosiainen shoots it in, Annunen slows it down. The goaltender slings it to the far wall, bouncing puck in front, picked off by Colorado, played ahead for Foudy toward the empty net, but is pickpocketed by Brant Clark on the back check. Here come the Kings again, but mishandled up the right side. Myers turns, shoots, blocked again by the Kings, and Clark takes it away. With 1 minute to go, the Kings trail the Avalanche 3-2, but are struggling to get out of their own zone here with the net empty to the right. Pickpocketed there from Ward. Foudy on top of it. Ward fights to get it back and then turned over again. This could do it, but it's rifled over the net. Oh my, all the action in the Kings zone, no goaltender, and still no dagger from Colorado. Kings entering the zone, Byfield right circle, takes it in front. It jumped off his stick, but he gets it back with 25 seconds to go. Byfield leaves it down in deep for Tyler Madden. Sends it up to the blue line for Brant Clark. He shoots into the logo on front of Annunen's jersey, and gets a whistle with 18.5 seconds to go.
Yeah, unfortunately, there no traffic in front of the net on the shot there by Clark. Drifts towards the middle of the ice, but things open up, and that allowed Antonin to be able to get a good look on that one, made the save easily. But just prior to that, Byfield tried to come across again, and I think they got a little bit of a book on Byfield that he's going to look to make a move there, and again, this time the puck jumped away from Byfield. Looked like he was looking to come across to his left.
Byfield wins the draw with 17 seconds to go. Clark for Byfield, back up top for Brant Clark, shoots, tipped in front, the rebound knocked away, and Byfield picks it up with 8 seconds to go. Byfield towards the circle, in deep for Madden, taken away by Colorado behind the net. The final seconds tick off the clock, and that's going to do it here in Game 1 of the Rookie Faceoff. A late push for the Kings, but spent about 30 seconds in their own end with the goaltender pulled, and Colorado escapes with a 3-2 victory over the Kings rookies here in San Jose.
I think all in all, when you look at the effort here this afternoon, definitely work to be done in different parts of the game, but in different parts of the game as well through different segments. Some good bright spots out there. I think we saw some of the young kids. You saw a great effort this afternoon by Clark. He picks up a couple of assists in the game and some effective play on the power play, getting shots through. Byfield, I thought, had some good shifts as well, and Pinelli finds his way on the score sheet. And I thought Taylor Ward had a solid game as well. So, we'll see how things progress, which guys are going to be in the lineup for tomorrow's game. But Game 1 is in the books right now, and it gives the coaching staff some things to be able to work on overnight and prepare for the next one.
Looks like we'll get some handshakes as well between the two rookie squads. The Kings, again, like you mentioned, didn't have everybody you'd expect in the lineup today. Maybe we won't get handshakes. I think the Kings were just waiting for Colorado to get off the ice because everybody's got to go down the same tunnel all the way back to the other rink here behind us here at the new Tech CU Arena, where both teams are sharing locker rooms next to each other. They're basically sharing a wall. But back to that original point, there are players not in the lineup today for the Kings. Akil Thomas, Martin Chromiak, Tyler Madden, Jordan Spence, Justin Knackbauer, Cameron Saprika, Caleb Lawrence are all here. They are all healthy scratches. They're just going to be rotating guys all weekend. And tomorrow, looking forward to seeing a few more of those players back in the lineup. Final score today here in Game 1 of the Rookie Faceoff. In San Jose, Colorado beats LA 3-2 final. The shots on goal at the end of the third period. For the Kings 13, a three-period total of 33. The Avs with 10 for a three-period total of, you guessed it, 33. The Avalanche were 0 for 5 on the power play. The Kings 1 for 5. And the Kings get goals from Frankie Pinelli and Taylor Ward. Brant Clark had a pair of assists for LA. And Kim Nosiainen and Tyler Madden also on the score sheet with assists for the Kings. That'll do it for us today here at Tech CU Arena in San Jose. We're back tomorrow, another 2 p.m. puck drop, a Saturday afternoon puck drop between the Kings and the Vegas Golden Knights here in San Jose. For Daryl Evans and our great production crew from Black Dog Hockey, I'm Josh Schaefer saying thanks so much for joining us here in San Jose. We'll see you tomorrow. Kings and Golden Knights on LAKings.com. Have a great afternoon, everybody.